All right, well, good evening, Central Texas. I know I promised you a weather update about 8:15, but we had some technical things we had to take care of. In fact, if you tuned in early, you saw we were kind of resetting our weather wall shot, so that's why we had to take just a couple of extra minutes there. We've made some changes, changes for the better, I would say, as we take a look at our weather wall here. So I do want to talk about what's going on right now, and for Central Texas, the answer to that question is not a whole lot, right? We had one storm that got very close to parts of, actually moved into Bosque County, but then really fell apart very quickly once it did so. So didn't really have a severe threat for Bosque County, just a few rain showers and some thunder and lightning by the time it got into the county. Most of the activity right now is still well off to our northwest, but as you can see, it is moving off to the southeast. So this is the line of storms that we kind of were talking about, being that initial push of shower and thunderstorm activity as we expect a pretty active week. And I told you on Friday that it could be as early as Sunday night. And I'm sure those of you that tuned in earlier today and over the course of your Saturday saw Ryan probably talking about the same thing here with this particular line of storm. So this is all along a cold front. That cold front's going to start to move in. It's going to stall out. So that's why we're expecting those storms to kind of continue off and on throughout the next several days. But as far as our chances for tonight, it'll be, yeah, you can see it's all well off to the northwest. So it's going to be a couple more hours before it gets here. Probably likely about the time our 10 o'clock news is ending, we'll start to see those storms slide into some of our western counties. But you can see very active line of storms here. In fact, I've seen a couple of these severe thunderstorm warnings. You see the yellow boxes. A couple of them have had what we call a destructive tag with winds as high as 80 miles per hour. Now, the deeper and deeper we get into the night, I don't necessarily know that we'll see that, but 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts will be possible for parts of central Texas as these storms move in the next couple of hours. You can see a tornado warning there just to the northwest of Abilene. So again, there is a little bit of spin to some of these storms. When you get these lines, and we saw this the other night too, when you get a line of storms, you can get a little bit of spin up activity from time to time. They're not usually very long-lived or terribly destructive, but we can see those tornadoes from time to time, especially at kind of the tail ends of some of these lines of thunderstorms. So that is what we're expecting, basically a line of storms. So pretty good coverage of storms over the course of the night. Here's what we're expecting. Again, it's going to be a couple of hours. You can see this particular forecast model did pick up on a little phantom activity there that we're not actually seeing out there right now. So again, some questions here, and again, don't take this as the gospel. You look at the timing, it says 10:15. It could be even a little bit later than that. Just depends on if these storms speed up, slow down. Obviously, sometimes they move at their own pace, that's for sure. So then we'll see this all kind of move through as we head through about midnight, 1 o'clock. And then we'll be looking for potentially some redevelopment behind that initial push as we head through the overnight hours. Don't expect as much severe weather there. The main severe threat for us is really going to be through about 11 o'clock through midnight as these storms start to move in. So mainly for our northern and western counties. You can see that severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock for Freestone County, for Navarro, Hill, Bosque County, and then just off in the distance you can see where that tornado warning I just showed you is. So you can see there's still quite a ways out there, but we'll continue to watch them over the next few hours. So the severe thunderstorm watch that you see here goes until 11. Could it be extended? It absolutely could, and we'll of course keep an eye on it, and if it is, we'll let you know as we head deeper and deeper into the night. Now, I mentioned it before, this is the beginning of what will be an active period for us here across central Texas. You can see basically rain chances every day through the weekend. Some of the best chances, and again, our next chance potentially for severe weather after tonight, that's going to be as we get through that Tuesday, Wednesday, into potentially Thursday as well time frame. So we're keeping an eye on those days, again, for potentially more severe weather. But our threat tonight, again, will be basically after 10 o'clock. So again, this is as you're going to bed. So of course, as we always say in these situations, make sure you have that audible way of receiving alerts. Obviously the 6 Plus app, all of our digital platforms, 6 Plus, KCENTV.com, and then the mobile app. The mobile app is the one that will send you the push alerts if there is a severe thunderstorm warning issued for your county. So that's the one you're going to want to have up at full volume, is going to be your cell phone, and make sure those alerts are turned on, because these storms, again, not going to get here for a little while, still just a couple of hours. Again, primarily after most of you will be heading off to bed. So with that in mind, just make sure that you have that audible way to get those alerts. This is going to be mainly a wind threat. There is a secondary hail threat to all this. Could see 1.5 inch hail. That's, you know, ping pong ball sized hail. That is a possibility, but mainly we're worried about a high wind threat as these storms come through. So that's what we're going to be watching for. And then after 6 News at 10 tonight, we will start another live stream, and we'll have that going as long as we need to as these storms continue to bring that severe threat to parts of central Texas. For now, though, we are going to leave this up for just a few more minutes. We'll probably have this live stream ended about 8:45, but until then, we're going to leave you here with the radar running with those storms still, again, well off to our northwest, but moving closer and closer to central Texas.